All right.
I got you. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. 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 Yeah, so I'll just talk to the weather and then we'll go to the open.
Yep, just weather, crazy.
Okay, so kind of the regular like intro open and then you'll play the usual like USL open and then we go to standings. Okay. Okay. Lightning and thunder have been the story of the night thus far as unusually stormy skies have delayed kickoff. We're hoping the weather translates to what we see on the field tonight as it's match day 16, Portland Timbers 2 hosting Reno 1868 FC.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
Far forward.
Check 1, 2. Can you hear me now, Fletcher? Fletcher, this is my time. Don't talk, please.
Gosh,
Fletcher,
look great.
Fletcher, stop talking.
You
Can
had
you hear
some
me?
mac and cheese tonight?
Goal. I have not had mac and cheese or hot dogs or anything for the past 5 or 6 hours.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
If you pick up my stomach rumbles on.
Day. Lightning and thunder have been the story of the night thus far as unusually stormy skies have delayed kickoff. We're hoping the weather translates to what we see on the field tonight as it's match day 16. Portland Timbers 2 hosting Reno 1868 FC. An electric start to the season for Portland was bolstered by a gritty 2-0 win in Orange County on Saturday, thanks to goals from Roy Miller and Brian Hurtado. Tonight, visitors from the Sagebrush State look to flex their muscles and put an end to T2's hot streak as Portland welcome Reno 1868 FC to Portland, Oregon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings in USL Championship's Western Conference. Phoenix rising on top of the table right now, 32 points from 16 matches. Portland Timbers 5 back, but a match in hand thus far. Then slot down to 7th. You see Reno 1868, 23 points from 15 matches. Welcome into the broadcast booth here high above the field at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson joined alongside by Joe Slevin. And Joe, for Portland Timbers 2, club record 6-match unbeaten run has them feeling good.
Yeah, 6-match unbeaten run, and they've been getting it done on the road. They've been hard to break down, and that's always going to give you a chance in these games, and done a good job of taking advantage of their opportunities.
Reno 1868 hoping to do some things tonight themselves. Let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch. We'll start off with Portland Timbers 2. Roy Miller is the veteran leader and got the game-winning goal on Saturday.
Yep, got the game winner, but it's his leadership at the back that they're going to need today. It's a young squad. 3 games in 8 days is what Cam Knowles and his crew are looking in the face. He'll need to lead from that back four and tell this crew what they need to do to get the win. Tons
of MLS experience on those legs of Miller. Meanwhile, Corey Herzog, I should say, gets the start for Reno 1868. The 28-year-old Pennsylvania native is the second leading scorer.
Yeah, a USL veteran. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. He's not going to stop for 90 minutes, constantly putting that back line under pressure, and when the time comes, he's taking advantage of his chances.
7th all-time meeting between Portland Timbers 2 and Reno 1868 FC. Reno 5-0-1 against Portland all-time. So T2 looking for that first ever win against their visitors from Nevada. We'll get you the starting lineups and opening kickoff from Providence Park coming up next. Lightning and thunder have been the story of the night thus far as unusually stormy skies have delayed kickoff. We're hoping the weather translates to what we see on the field tonight as it's match day 16. Portland Timbers 2 hosting Reno 1868 FC. An electric start to the season for Portland was bolstered by a gritty 2-0 win in Orange County on Saturday, thanks to goals from Roy Miller and Brian Hurtado. Tonight, visitors from the Sagebrush State look to flex their muscles and put an end to T2's hot streak as Portland welcome Reno 1868 FC to Portland, Oregon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings in USL Championship's Western Conference. Phoenix rising on top of the table right now, 32 points from 16 matches. Portland Timbers 5 back, but a match in hand thus far. Then slot down to 7th. You see Reno 1868, 23 points from 15 matches. Welcome into the broadcast booth here high above the field at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson joined alongside by Joe Slevin. And Joe, for Portland Timbers 2, club record 6-match unbeaten run has them feeling good.
Yeah, 6-match unbeaten run, and they've been getting it done on the road. They've been hard to break down, and that's always going to give you a chance in these games, and done a good job of taking advantage of their opportunities.
Reno 1868 hoping to do some things tonight themselves. Let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch. We'll start off with Portland Timbers 2. Roy Miller is the veteran leader and got the game-winning goal on Saturday.
Yep, got the game winner, but it's his leadership at the back that they're going to need today. It's a young squad. 3 games in 8 days is what Cam Knowles and his crew are looking in the face. He'll need to lead from that back four and tell this crew what they need to do to get the win.
Tons of MLS experience on those legs of Miller. Meanwhile, Corey Herzog, I should say, gets the start for Reno 1868. The 28-year-old Pennsylvania native is the second leading scorer.
Yeah, a USL veteran. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. He's not going to stop for 90 minutes, constantly putting that back line under pressure, and when the time comes, he's taking advantage of his chances.
7th all-time meeting between Portland Timbers 2 and Reno 1868 FC. Reno 5-0-1 against Portland all-time. So T2 looking for that first ever win against their visitors from Nevada. We'll get you the starting lineups and opening kickoff from Providence Park coming up next.
Brown to find Lacroix. Now it's Musa. Oh, what a hit! Ryan Brown. Oh, that is electric from Phoenix on the break. Shot, push wide.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Minutes from kickoff here at Providence Park after the weather delay. A big thunderstorm rolled through a little bit earlier this evening, right around the time that this match was supposed to kick off. But teams in their final warm-ups now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start off with the home side. 3 changes for Cameron Knowles, 4-2-3-1 in front of goalkeeper Jake Leaker, who's one of those changes. Youngster Gio Calixtro gets a start up top.
Yep, he's going to need to hold the ball up today because as Ojeda and Hurtado get to look and support, it's important that he uses his physicality against this Reno squad that is going to put pressure on his backside.
Cameron Knowles, of course, in his second season as manager, 24-15-10 coming into this match here this evening. Meanwhile, for Reno 1868, as you take a look at Cameron Knowles there, spent time with the as an assistant with the MLS Timbers. But Reno 1868, meanwhile, will make 3 changes as well, a 4-4-2, and Joe, most importantly, a diamond in the midfield.
Yeah, it's actually going to be that diamond, and so you're going to need to exploit the space in the back. They look to pressure you high, but that leaves them susceptible, and they have made mistakes and dropped some points this year.
A couple devastating draws early on in the season for Reno 1868 really hurt where this team currently stands in the table under third-year manager Ian Russell, who we had a chance to chat with yesterday. 39, 20, and 24 with Reno 1868, a 2-time MLS Cup champion with San Jose Earthquakes in 2001 and 2003. Well, a little bit long overdue, about 45, 50 minutes past when we were supposed to kick this thing off, but we are excited to get things underway. Cool night here at Providence Park as the stadium was opened up for the MLS Timbers match, who played in Montreal earlier this evening. They actually experienced a lightning delay as well. Joe, you were on the call of that one on the radio side, and certainly an interesting evening for you as experienced a couple lightning delays.
Yeah, there was a couple of nails chewed when we thought that it would overlap with this game, but then the god of lightning seemed to smile down upon our fortunes here. It gave me an opportunity to swing by, and it delayed this game. It's a slick surface. You can see it here, and these guys are just eager to play right now.
Yeah, it came down probably the most rain we've had in the last month and a half here in Portland, just with that rainstorm that passed through and thunderstorm here over the last 45 minutes as it came down pretty darn hard. So we'll see how that affects the field here this evening, but we are just about set for kickoff. Dejan Susak is our referee this evening. He's assisted by Andrew Marhart and Ryan Young. Our fourth official is Justin St. Pierre. As we await kickoff, Reno 1868 6-5-4 on 23 points so far this season. Meanwhile, Portland Timbers 7-2-6 on 27 points. There's the whistle, and we are underway from Providence Park. You'll see some familiar names on that Reno 1868 side. Both Seth Kasipley and Brent Richards spent time with this Timbers organization here in Portland. And T2 so far this season, 3-1-3 at home, including 1-0-2 here in Providence Park. T2 actually played the first match in this building after the $85 million renovation was complete. So certainly some excitement and opportunities here for T2 as an early ball forward finds Corey Herzog, but he is in an offside position.
You know, you mentioned Kasipley, and he seems to have found a home here in Reno, very much pulling the strings, keeps possession, short possession that he probably picked up here in terms of this Timbers 2 makeup, but he can now play that ball that breaks the line. He can get in behind, and he's created the most chances for this Reno 1868 squad.
Hurtado with his first touch after picking up a goal last week, or last Saturday, I should say. That was his third of the season that sealed the deal against Orange County. But you mentioned Kasipley. We talked with Ian Russell yesterday and had very nice things to say about the 25-year-old Ian Russell. Kasipley is basically his coach on the field, could be the captain of this team, and will step into that role from time to time, but has grown so much. And as you mentioned, Joe, probably some of that credit due to his time with Portland Timbers too. Selected by the MLS Timbers in the 2015 Super Draft and eventually made his way to Reno 1868 in 2018.
Yeah, you mentioned that midfield general, or just that leader on the field. It's important at any level, but especially at this USL Championship, the mix of age groups. You have young starters. You look at this T2 squad, Anguiano paired with Wharton in the middle, but it's also Roy Miller that can just show him the ropes, how to approach the game.
Here's Kasipley with it. Goes 1v1 versus Orenstill, crosses in, headed away by Diz Pay. Orenstill much more familiar with playing in central defense, playing out on that right side of defense this evening. So an interesting opportunity to see what Max can do out on the right side.
Already an example of just how high this 1868 squad presses. They're hunting in packs right now, sprinting at the ball, so it's important. Get your touch, and once you get one or two passes complete, it seems to open up a little bit of space. But right now, T2 finding it a little bit difficult to break that first line of pressure.
And you can tell certainly with the amount of rain that fell, the track is slick this evening. So you have to see who that benefits, but certainly if you're Reno 1868 and you high press, feel like there's opportunity there to maybe create a turnover and get a cheap one. Although here comes Portland forward. Warren still plays it down the line for Hurtado, who picks it up there. Keeps it in play in front of Zach Carroll. Tries to go through two men, is taken down and earns a foul. So nice work by Hurtado, the 19-year-old from Venezuela.
Yeah, really well done by Hurtado. Just hold up play, looking to slip in behind, or through, I should say. Feels the contact goes down, and now a good opportunity to get that ball in the box and also give your defense a time to get organized, catch their breaths a little bit after a very fast start to this game. 1868 looking to push the pace as much as they possibly can, Fletcher.
Todd Wharton and Christian Ojeda stand over this. This ball would be one for Ojeda on his favored left foot if he wants to try and send it into the mixer. Ojeda's been dangerous in this position when he's been given the opportunity this season. But it will be Wharton to strike. Doesn't get past the first man and cleared out of danger.
You said it right there. Disappointing. Doesn't get past the first man.
Here comes Sierakowski dribbling central. Lays it off for Hurtado. Sets it up on his left foot but puts it high.
And just thinking back to that Orange County SC game, it was Roy Miller on the corner kick, charging at the front post, similar makeup that got on the end of it. Here we take another look at the left footer by Hurtado, who also found himself on the end of the score sheet, not afraid to take the shot by any means.
Hurtado's on loan from Mineros de Guayana down in Venezuela. Made 58 appearances for that club over the last 2 seasons. Also has 10 appearances for the Venezuelan U20s. And has made his presence felt here more as of late with T2, in a sense coming on similar to the way that you could say Marvin Luria did last season. And of course, Marvin Luria playing with the MLS Timbers over the weekend, scoring a goal in his first ever appearance, and then getting the 90 minutes earlier this evening in Montreal, Joe. That's what T2 is here for, is development through success. T2 made the playoffs last year, experienced that success, and now you see players like Marvin Luria, Renzo Zambrano, Eric Williamson have the opportunity to come in with the MLS Timbers and make an impact.
Absolutely. That's what this organization really wants to see. Cam Knowles and his crew have done a fantastic job of getting reps for the right guys, showing them the ropes, and really having an ethos, a thought process, a standard that they set throughout the organization. Because you look at a Luria, you look at a Zambrano and how easily they've transitioned into the MLS side of things. What a good job by their crew to get this team clicking on all cylinders while also showing them the ropes.
Cam Knowles does a wonderful job maintaining his calm, confidence, and perfectly blended there with Andrew Greger and Aiden Brown. Leadership of this team. And they've also figured out a balance to have with some veteran players like a Roy Miller, like a Todd Wharton, and then work in some youngsters, 18-year-old Gio Calixtro, teenager in Carlos Anguiano as well. And it's really created a lot of success in the ability to get results not only at home but on the road as well over the last 2 seasons, which has led to the success that they've had as Cade Cowell, a teenager for Reno 1868, picks this one up. Will send a cross in, puts it over the top, falls to his man Sergio Rivas at the back post, can't quite control it, pulls it back out, plays central, gets it to Cade Cowell, then Orange still taken down from behind, no foul called, and Portland able to clear their lines.
You know, you mentioned it in the beginning of the show. They're just difficult to break down as we see him on this counterattack.
Into space, 3v3 if they hurry. Reinforcements coming, will play it outside to Smith. Smith cannot beat Carroll in a foot race to that one. Oh, it's out to touch for a T2 throw.
Important moment there, because if that finds Smith, so good at putting in that service low across the front of the goal. And that's what T2 is going to look to do tonight. They didn't enjoy the lion's share of possession in Orange County, but they're fine with that. They're difficult to break down, and when they get the chance to break, they do. Think back to Hurtado's goal, takes advantage of his opportunity.
As Nathan Smith earns a foul here. It's a dangerous challenge that came in. We'll have to see if we have our first card of the night.
Right here, clever touch by Smith. And he's going to feel that one across the front of his knee. Not really sure where the protest is coming from.
Will Seymour was on the giving end of that challenge that came in. As you look at Zach Carroll, 23-year-old from Michigan, spent time with the New York Red Bulls. Is certainly another important defensive piece for Reno. As once again Ojeda and Wharton stand over this free kick. 5 men in and around the box for T2. Ball floated in, header won by Orange still, but pushed off on the back of Will Seymour.
Yeah, just trying to buy a yard of space there. Pretty obvious in the end, that right arm's extended. I'd want to see a little bit more of a whipped ball if I'm Cameron Knowles, because that's exactly where your success came from in your past couple of games. You have the ability in the box, the people can get on the end of it. And a good look here, Fletch, of just the approach from T2. You look at that 4 across the middle.
Herzog shoots, and just a yard wide. That ball settled for him nicely outside the 18, and he nearly made Portland pay.
Look back here, it's a searching ball over the top, but it's not really the first one they're interested in. Even the second one, I don't know if that's the setup touch that he's going for, but it falls really, really well there. Herzog striking through the ball with that left foot. You can see he's going for the far post. a good opportunity there. And that's an example of, it's maybe not the first ball that's going to hurt you. It's that second ball, that knockdown, and the high press from 1868, pushing midfielders in. And in this case, Herzog finds the ball at his left foot.
And that moment right there from Herzog is one that frustrates Ian Russell beyond belief. We'll tell you why coming up as Portland brings it forward the other way. Sierkowski can't quite control. And Reno 1868 wins back possession to Lacroix under pressure, finds Kasipli. And Reno 1868 releases that pressure. Reno this season has outshot nearly every team in the league over the course of the year. They have 200 shots this season, but just 30 goals to show for it, as Oren still does well to push that one out for a goal kick. 200 shots this season, 30 goals to show for. That's a 15% conversion rate. Take Portland as the example on the other side. 32 goals from 144 shots, so 56 less shots, yet 2 more goals for Portland equals a 22% conversion rate. And Ian Russell's sitting there scratching his head going, this is, if we could convert a few more of our opportunities, we would find ourselves in first or second place in the Western Conference as opposed to 7th.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, adopting almost a volume shooter's approach to the game. But it's what you do with those chances. You give somebody, a team, an opportunity if you don't put them away.
Hurtado forces a big-time save out of J.T. Marcinkowski. And boy, does Hurtado look in form. That left-footed curler nearly got in over the top.
Hard to tell if this is a crosser shot, but if it goes in, I have no doubt in my mind what Hurtado's going to tell you here. Again, works it onto that left foot of his. And honestly, I think he's trying to search for that back post. He sees the keeper off his line.
Quickly taken by Portland. A lot of big bodies forward, but Ojeda can't get the cross in. Now Wharton will dribble central. Puts a low ball in that's knocked away by the first man, but Portland keeps the pressure up. Play it outside. Hurtado did for Ojeda, but too much on it.
And Fletch, it might be the surface here because 1 or 2 passes seem to be getting away from T2, especially in transition. They pick the ball off there, immediately picks his head up. It's a heavy touch. There's been a couple balls in the midfield too that have gone skipping or fired in at knee level height, which isn't ideal. I usually call those a skill check, see if you can bring it down, and so far it hasn't resulted in really anything except for throw-ins and balls over the end line.
Despite that, a bright start for Portland here through the first 12 minutes as Hurtado tries to pull off a back heel, but Lacroix read it well. Though Reno 1868 give up possession just like that. This is one of the areas in which Portland's really improved this year, is controlling more the pace of play in the game. Really unique last year in that Portland, when they were outshot by their opponents, they had a winning record. Yet when they outshot their opponents, they had a losing record. So Portland's really grown in these matches where they're forced to kind of put their foot on the ball and control the game, which is certainly encouraging to see if you're a T2 supporter.
Yeah, bodes well for today's game when you think about the amount of shots that 1868's putting on. And you're right, just slowing the game down. Such an important lesson to learn. It's not all high flying. It's how you can kill a game off or catch your breath within a 90 minutes, collect yourself, organize the troops. Little moments there that go unnoticed for the most part.
Long switch over to the far side, picked off by Reno, but controlled and settled by Miller. Feel that with as high as Reno's pushing numbers, opportunities could come. Here's one for Portland. Hurtado has scored for the second time in as many matches and puts Portland in front in the 14th minute.
This is a really good team goal and a good example, Fletcher, of what transition can get you. We look at Wharton in the midfield. It's a little bit of a searching ball, but Calixto makes life difficult. Anguiano, who floated on the side, continues his run. What a great ball into the feet of Hurtado, and he works it onto that left foot. He's been knocking at the door to start this game, and finally somebody answers. In the end, he just uses that big frame of his to shield off Galindo Cruz. It's an easy finish, slotted to the left, and you're right, that's a finish of a confident striker right now. 2 goals in 2 games for Hurtado.
And 4 goals on the season, all coming in the last 2.5 months.
And I was just about to mention there, Fletch, I'm looking at Anguiano. You know, such a young talent. You look at in a game like this where it's so high-paced, so physical. How's he going to grow into the game? Isn't afraid to go forward. Look what I found, and then eventually has a quality to just lay that into the path of Hurtado, and the recognition by Hurtado to have that darting run in behind. Just a good understanding of the system.
This one in for Herzog. Run into each other did Dizpay and the goalkeeper, Jake Leaker. Dizpay remains down. And hard to believe that Herzog didn't realize the ball was sitting right at his feet before Leaker was able to recover. And Dizpay certainly got the business end of that one.
Yeah. We'll have another look, but it's a high cross. And so for me, Leaker's a little bit late off his line coming here. And that's why I think Dizpay feels the need to come in and challenge. Brent Richards on that left foot of his. You can see he gets under it a little bit. Leaker has this the whole way. I just don't know if Dizpay is fully aware, and he catches that right in the back of the head. It's not going to feel good. You're absolutely right. I think the fact that that cross was so high, I think that Herzog was just had the feeling that that's not going to fall to me. That's the keeper's ball. Didn't see the contact coming, and then by the time he turns, good job by Leaker to pounce right back onto it.
And worth noting as well, this is Jake Leaker's first game in net for T2 since making 4 saves in a 4-1 away win at Tacoma Defiance on May 12th. So it's been over a month since he's been in the lineup. You wonder, communication's different with different back lines and different goalkeepers. He did not play in the match on Saturday against Orange County. That was Alija Zivicic who got the start in that one. Most importantly, Dizpay is up, looks to be okay, getting checked out right now by the trainer Greg Wakefield. And Leaker will get us back underway in a moment. But Adrian Dizpay has been someone who's really came in and had an impact on this T2 side. Been a stalwart in central defense as Anguiano turns it over there. But Wharton there to clean it up and just push it out of danger. Wanted to mention that after the pass forward from Wharton on the sequence of that goal, the 3 players involved were... And we'll hold that thought for a minute. Here comes Cade Cal, who shoots first time, puts it across the face of Jake Leaker's net. But the 3 players involved in that goal after Wharton's ball forward were 18-year-old Carlos Anguiano, 18-year-old Gio Calixto, and 19-year-old Brian Hurtado. So you see the youth coming through in creating that opportunity and eventually finishing it off.
Yeah, the goal is one thing, and then if you're this organization looking at the young talent, you're really encouraged by what they just put together. And that's exactly what you and I were talking about. In the same system, it takes a recognition to realize when you are Hurtado, when you need to make that run. Anguiano, keep your run going, follow the play. You'll be surprised what falls to your feet, because he comes in from the left wing. He's just working his way back to the center, and then he's just been so good this year. The confidence that he has as an 18-year-old on the ball is really what turns my head, because the physicality, that'll come with time as he grows up, but you can't really teach the thought, the quality, the recognition of the weight of the ball that needs to be played right there. Hats off to all 3 on that sequence.
Here comes Richard, finds Cal. Cal dribbles forward, tries to work his way around Smith, gets a cross in. Herzog gets a touch to it, but can't direct it on the frame.
He looks all right. Dizpay had to put a body on Herzog there.
Fans, follow Portland Timbers 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. 19th minute. Brian Hurtado's goal in the 14th minute has Portland out in front here early out shooting their visitors 3-2 thus far in what has been an entertaining first quarter, hour plus a few minutes. Fletcher Johnson and Joe Slevin here with you. Late start tonight as we had major thunderstorms roll through the area, and as we look to our south, you can see that the clouds are pretty much all gone as that weather moves its way this direction. The sky is actually much brighter than they were about an hour ago. Those in the Midwest, Joe, used to that kind of weather. We're not necessarily used to it here in the Pacific Northwest. Probably the most thunder we've had in a few years, and only having worked for this organization for the last 9 seasons, I remember one other match, and it was an MLS Timbers match that had a weather delay. So very unique circumstances here this evening as Hurtado controls down near the end line.
Yeah, just a little delay in proceedings, but everybody looks up to speed at this point.
Anguiano goes in, wins that challenge. Now to Sierakowski, overlapping run coming from Smith. He'll get it, cross it in for Calixtro, and a great save by Marcinkowski.
Another great opportunity there. Just waiting for the run there, Smith. And a clever cutback. Anguiano, look at this tackle, how he wins this in the midfield. The young center mid just plays it into the feet, and he waits for that run to come. Sarkowski, good patience. Calixtro does the right thing. He tries to slot it left. It's just Marcinkowski is alive to the danger, pushes it wide for a corner.
Here's Wharton's cross, comes in. Marcinkowski didn't get it. Fell to the feet of Sierakowski, but not sure how much he knew about it by the time it was on the ground, and the goalkeeper was able to recover.
And as much credit as we give to Marcinkowski for that last save, a little bit lost in no man's land on that 6-yard box. Lucky that that ball falls to his feet. Good passage of play there from T2. And like you said, it's not the quantity, but the quality of the chances, the looks they're getting. Just a moment there, Calixtro again, right place, right time, finds it at his feet, has the composure to take that extra little touch and give himself a good look.
Richards trying to go 2v1, does end up deflecting it out to touch off of Nathan Smith. Our outstanding producer, Tony Smith, tells us that it was May 26th of 2012 that the other weather delay occurred here at Providence Park. A MLS Portland Timbers matchup against Vancouver Whitecaps. As here comes Ojeda, gets around one man, continues his dribble forward, plays outside for Calixtro. Advantage played as Ojeda was fouled. Now it's 1v1 versus Carroll. Calixtro looking over his options, will play a back post for Hurtado, who tries to head it on. Was going to be tough to get much on it as that was a floating ball, and Marcinkowski picks it up easily enough.
Yeah, Ojeda, good pace to break free of his man there. Releases the ball to the left, but kind of peters out there. I think Reno 1868 recovers. They can blame the ball, though. It looks like they're switching it out.
Switching out the ball, indeed, is what they're doing, as Dejan Susik stops play, and that ball will not be used again.
But just again, T2, how good on the break have they looked today? Just quick in transition and looking dangerous. Commitment to get forward from Ojeda, from Hurtado.
Playing on short rest, our T2 after the game on Saturday. Meanwhile, it's been over a week since Reno 1868 have played. And that 3-0 loss to Phoenix, one that is a lot closer than the 3-0 scoreline indicated. Reno 1868 really controlled a lot of the play as Smith is fouled. But they were not, again, able to convert shots into goals. They end up giving the early one and give up a couple more to lose 3-0.
Nathan Smith on the other end of a little bit of a hospital pass. Also looks like his cleat gets caught there. His teammates might owe him a meal after this one. He's stitching him up, but they're earning some free kicks.
It's one of those you certainly cringe at when you see a player's leg in the turf and the challenge come in. There's nowhere for that leg to go when that foot's locked into the ground. Great touch there by Ojeda. Creative idea to try and find Calixtro, who fouls Carroll, though.
Yeah, right. Clever touch. It's early. Carroll alive to the danger, though. He's tracking his man.
Gio Calixtro from Cornelius, Oregon. Academy player. Scored his first ever goal against this Reno 1868 side back on July 22nd of 2017. His first ever pro goal. Has a brace from earlier this year against Los Dos. Making his 10th appearance and 5th start here this evening for T2.
It's a little bit of a slowing down in proceedings. It's an absolute track meet to start this match. And the tempers have subsided just a little bit since that goal from T2. But for me, that probably favors 1868 at the moment, because they were the ones trying to push forward, and I think they recognize they got caught. They got caught trying to chase that game. And when the ball turned over, a lot of them were out of position.
Certainly has been a good start from T2 thus far, and a goal to show for it. Orange still tries to control off his chest, but Cal intercepts from behind. Kasipli able to knock it forward and earn a throw-in about 20 yards from the end line. Lacroix will come over to take, quickly thrown in to Rivas, chested down by Cal. Seymour, central for Herzog. Back to Seymour, tight spaces here for Reno 1868. Chipped in, hits off the back of Rivas, and Portland clears. Chance to break here with the pressure high again. Seymour dispossesses Ojeda, ball back over the top for Herzog, who is offside.
Seymour upset with that one because he's the one doing the work. Just eases Ojeda off the ball. A little bit of a mismatch physically there, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, as you look at Raul Mendiola, another player Ian Russell speaks highly of, a guy who plays wide, has a strong touch inside, can drift all over. You'll notice with this Reno 1868, especially with that diamond in the midfield, players rotate around positions to try and keep the opponent off balance, not knowing where guys are going to go. Will remind a lot of Timbers fans of Sebastian Blanco, Diego Valeri, and others that kind of float there in the midfield and in the attack, can create problems for the opponent if they're not defensively sound. But Portland's been up to the task here in the first 26 minutes.
Yeah, just look how this midfield unit is just moving together. They're shifting. They keep a similar line in that back four. Roy Miller has them dialed at the moment.
Long switch from Kasipli, doesn't have enough on it. Sierkowski didn't know where the defense was, and it ends up in a corner kick, the first of the night for the visitors.
Yeah, Sierkowski, I think you're absolutely right. Doesn't know where his man is, opts to knock it out. Just happens to trickle over the end line. Not ideal. Now it's time to mark up, find your man.
Seth Kasipli, one of the top crossers in the league this season, has a couple assists, couple goals. We'll see if he'll put one in a dangerous position here. And a hit with the inside of that right foot, close to the heel from Brent Richards, but easy enough for Jake Leaker.
Brent Richards, forward in his college days, played out on the wing when he came to the MLS Timbers, and now seems to have reinvented himself at the right back position. Now if they do find themselves looking for a goal late on, he will push on. But for the most part, he gives you a little bit of an offensive flair on the right wing. A lot of athleticism. Isn't afraid to whip that ball in, though.
First real extended possession for Reno 1868 here, as they survey their options. Play to Kasipli central. Chip it in for Rivas. One-time touch to Herzog. Back to Rivas. That was nicely worked, but just a little too hot back in for Rivas, and he couldn't control it.
It's quick 1-2 passing, Fletch, but it's very congested in the middle. It's got to be perfect. And when you have a surface like this, slick after the rain, the thunderstorm, that ball's going to run on you.
Tune in to ESPN3 on July 3rd at 8 p.m. for Wednesday Night Soccer. Watch as two of the premier clubs out west duel for playoff positioning when Sacramento Republic FC welcomes Fresno FC in the Highway 99 Derby. Catch all the action July 3rd at 8 p.m. on ESPN3. Sierakowski called for the foul against Richards. Felt like he won the ball, but took down Richards in the process. And chance for Reno 1868 to put in a dangerous ball.
Well, when it's congested in the middle, you look to the wings. Clever play here by Richards. Look at that. He just lets it run in, and he kind of baits Sierakowski into the challenge. He did get a foot on the ball, but he also got the man there.
Sierakowski, the 23rd overall pick by the MLS Timbers in the Super Draft. Signed March 1st of this year out of Michigan State. Here comes Kasipli's ball, looking for the head of Carroll, headed away by Dizpay. Now here's Rivas. Rivas prep touch, will send it back in towards the back post. Leaker comes off his line and was not going to get to that one, but Herzog couldn't get it on frame.
You're right. Leaker's kind of grasping at straws here. Again, he gets caught in no man's land at this point. Herzog just can't steer that on frame, so at least Leaker's frame threw him off, or you'd hope so, because when you come out like that as a keeper, you're getting either both hands on the ball, something to alter the flight path, but Herzog saw that the entire way. And to your point, it's just about getting reps. It's difficult when you're a goalkeeper. You're not in the rhythm of the game in the entire 90 minutes.
Comes a ball that finds Hurtado. Beautiful ball from the back. And Hurtado tries to nutmeg Lacroix, still has it, knocks it off Lacroix for a throw.
Almost had it, little drag meg.
Half hour in here at Providence Park. T2 on top thanks to a Brian Hurtado goal in the 14th minute, second goal in as many games. Fletcher Johnson and Joe Slevin here with you for about a 55-minute lightning delay here in Portland. Portland outshooting Reno 5-4 at this point on a club record 6-match unbeaten run. Our T2. Meanwhile, Reno 1868 2-3-2 away from home this season. But as Ian Russell mentioned to us yesterday, felt good about where this team was early in the year, but then they suffered a couple of brutal ties against Oklahoma City and Orange County games. That Orange County game, they had a 2-0 lead in the 90th minute and ended up drawing that match and only getting a point out of it. You can only imagine how much that affects the psyche of a team. Meanwhile, Cameron Knowles in T2, first couple road match of the season, went on the road and got results, whether they were draws in difficult places or whether they were come from behind victories. Portland's prowess away from Providence Park has been their calling card really throughout the last 2 seasons, being a thorn in the side of the opponents. And it's led them to where they are in the table, second place, 5 points back of Phoenix Rising, who certainly look to be at this point the class of the Western Conference. Portland has not yet played Phoenix. That match will come next for Portland on the 29th. So just a few short days from now down in Phoenix. Could it potentially be the top 2 teams in USL Championship's Western Conference? Ojeda went in late on that challenge, caught a cleat from Rivas, but back up. And now Richards trying to dribble around Smith. Earns his team the 2nd corner of the night.
Good job by Smith there just to stay in front of Brent Richards. Yeah, that was a rough challenge in the middle of the field, but over on the right side, again, Richards so adept at working it onto the right foot and getting that snap shot off. Good tracking there from Smith.
Kasipli once again over to take. This one towards the penalty spot. Glancing header away by Portland. And then just cleared out to Lacroix at midfield. Send it back over to that far side to Kasipli. Tries to work his way around Sierakowski. Gets the cross off towards the back post. Over the head of Herzog. Settles for Rivas. 1 touch, 2 touch. Still with it. Shoots. And high.
Doesn't trouble Leaker in the end. The cross comes in, goes across everybody. Herzog's just trying to get anything on it. Just watch here, straining his neck. But right there, maybe was the moment. But other than that, good job by Anguiano to help out on defense there. And because he goes for a shot that's curling to the top corner, before he was just going to go for some power.
Here's Nathan Smith in space. had the game-tying goal a couple matches ago here at Providence Park. Floats this ball in. This time Marcinkowski collects. Nathan Smith had that goal in second half stoppage time against Fresno. Within the last minute of the match, it seemed like Portland had dropped points at home, but were able to come back and get that goal. It was a beautiful back heel along from Ryan Sierakowski to find Smith, who slotted it home calmly. And that was big. That's the resiliency that this team has shown throughout the course of the season as Lacroix finds himself forward, defended by Wharton, plays central, no one there. Sierakowski looks for Hurtado. Calixto will come back to collect. Portland could try and break here if they want to. Seymour using his big frame to keep Calixto away from the ball.
Yeah, we've seen that one before in the midfield. Seymour, again, just easing Calixto off the ball. But you mentioned it. I was about to say the same thing. T2 with a 2-2 tie with Fresno in their own right, but a different makeup to that game because they do fight back. Yes, they're at home. They're down 2-1, and to still fight till the end and get that equalizer in the 90th feels like a little minor victory on top of that tie, whereas 1868 is just kicking themselves for dropping points.
Cal's touch doesn't get around Dispay, and then Dispay uses his big frame to win the ball going forward. Out to touch off of Kasipli.
Good work here by Dispay. Stands up his man, gets his body in the way, almost gets his touch, and almost an Oscar as well, but earns the throw-in.
Yeah, Dejan Susik was not going to be convinced that that was a foul.
Nah, he looks to be fine though. A lot of space for these outside backs. Talking to Cam Knowles, they're fine with this back line for 1868 possessing the ball. The moment those midfielders get on it, especially Kasipli, Herzog, a couple of T2 defenders right around them.
Yeah, and have to imagine Ian Russell's not happy as this cross comes in. No one there. Warren still clears only as far as Rivas, top of the box, shoots. And a foul called on Hurtado just outside the box, so this could be a dangerous shooting opportunity for the visitors.
It's Richards' cross. Doesn't find a home, but watch this clearance right here. Hurtado, I think he's looking for that up line, and as he cuts in to help on defense, he's judged to have put that foot in there. For me, it's a little bit soft. I don't really see the contact. As Rivas goes to check back, a lot of times you'll see him catch that foot, but it doesn't look like he's there in time. And now a very dangerous look for Kasipli. This is a close one. There's enough space to get it up and over that wall. I don't know, but you can keep it low as well.
Pair of goals for Kasipli this season. Will play it around the wall and saved by Leaker.
Really well done by Leaker. Doesn't see it till late. Like I said, that's a very close shot to try to get it up and over that wall. And I think Leaker is actually baiting him into it. You see him kneeling down, wants him to take it, because in the end, it's a comfortable save, pushes it wide. Textbook stuff from the keeper. That's the type of save you get under your belt, get a little more confidence after maybe one or two shaky moments to start the game.
Switch cut out by Ornstill.
I think you're right. I think Ian Russell will be a little bit frustrated. They haven't had more opportunities created. They've had possession. They haven't really done too much with it. And T2's done a good job of winning that ball and immediately finding somebody's feet.
That ball rolled across the sideline for a T2 throw.
Just taking a look back here again. Kasipli does a great job keeping it low. But Leaker, you can already see he's cheating to that left side. Pushes it wide. That's what you work on the training ground for the keepers. A little bit in the rhythm there. Ivacic, we've seen him for the last couple of games. Leaker now showing what he can do.
Yeah, and if you're Reno, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. Cade Cowell kind of ran across the face of Leaker and got out of the way. That ball trailed in behind him, but Leaker was up to the task the former Real Monarchs player, coming over to T2 this season, making his 11th start of the season. Many of the so-called stalwarts of this team, this T2 team this season, not in the lineup today, as Dizpay does well. Oh, they do say it was a corner kick. I was wondering, it looked like it might have crossed the end line there. The referee over on that far side, Ryan Jung, initially said a throw-in, but was overruled by the center referee, saying it was a corner kick, the third of the night for Reno. So Kasipli once again over to take. Calixtro coming in late. That ball rolled all the way through. Now played in to Herzog, who sends it into the mixer, headed away by Calixtro. And now Hurtado tries a long ball forward. Ojeda was running down that far side, but was never going to find him.
Yeah, I'm going to take something special there, but you're right. Ojeda did have the space. You don't see that often, across from a corner kick coming all the way on the deck through traffic. Again, the things that'll frustrate Ian Russell. Because if you're in the right spot there, it's a side footer. You don't need to win a header.
Here comes Lacroix. Still with it is Lacroix. And then his pass leaves something to be desired. Richards wasn't quite making the run. And Smith knocks it out to touch near midfield. As we enter the final 5 minutes of the first half, one that has been solid for T2, as Miller wins that ball behind Herzog. Joe, always important to close down a half. What do you need to see from Portland to be able to take this 1-0 lead to the break?
Yeah, Fletch, you mentioned it. If you're Cam Knowles, you're happy with how this first half played out. You've made life difficult for 1868. You forced them wide and cut out the chances when you need to. A little bit of a mix-up at the end that almost fell down to Herzog, but to get to half, don't take any chances. Don't try anything too much here, and if you feel the contact, maybe go down and start killing off this half. Get into halftime with that 1-0 lead.
Ojeda does well to keep it under pressure, get it into space for Smith.
These little moments here, you said it. They've learned when to take their foot off the gas a little bit. If there's nothing on, just put it long.
Sipley picks it up in the center circle. Will try and go over the top for Cal. And well done header from Adrian Dizpay to direct it back to Jake Leaker. He was off balance, but still was able to turn it back to him.
If you're Ian Russell, that's a good moment there to point to. The ball's turned over. Immediately the head goes up. That long ball, it hasn't been working yet today. Keep the ball on the deck. Turf's there for a reason. And see if you can build something through the midfield, because right now the long ball stuff hasn't paid off for 1868.
Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy.
Look how these outside backs are pushing up high. Lacroix, Richards. Means T2's got to shift as a unit.
Offside flag up for the third time this half on Corey Herzog. Well, when Portland scores first, they're 5-1-2 this season. When they're leading at half, they're 3-0-0. So they've got the first number. The second number, a big one too, though, if they can carry this lead to the break. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And once again, if you're Ian Russell for Reno, scratching your head, saying we're creating some good opportunities, but are just not finishing off those opportunities to give ourselves a chance to win these matches or pick up points in these matches. Obviously, a ton of time to play. When you think about a couple of the opportunities, one that Corey Herzog had in the first half nearly worked out for him. And here's Rivas 1v1 versus Miller. T2's defense coming back. Rivas works his way around Miller. Central, no one there. Yet last second run forward. I believe that was from Richards. Deflected away by Smith. Now Mendiola to shoot. And Dizpay puts his head to it and knocks it out for a corner.
A nervy moment there. That shot right there, I'm not sure if Brent Richards is caught off guard by how wet the top of the surface is or just the bounce itself. And then we take a look at the cross here. Just a little touch from Dispay. It's enough to put this ball off target.
And a conversation between two of the center backs, Dispay and Carroll. That conversation directed more towards Dispay, though. Interesting to see once this corner kick is taken from Kasipli. Sent in towards a penalty spot. Won by Galindo Cruz. Cleared away by Portland.
It did well to get a foot on it.
Another corner kick for Reno 1868. They're 5th of the half.
1868's not letting them get into half with a comfortable 1-0 lead. A little hope from the crowd, though. Kill some time off when you throw the ball on the field like that.
Low cross in this time. Richard gets a touch to it and then missed by a couple Reno players, although Mendiola keeps it. Gets it out to Cal. Eventually back to Seymour, and Portland's able to reset their defense.
Good job weathering the storm there. No pun intended, Fletch.
Hitting stoppage time. We'll play 2 minutes here at the end of the first half. Lacroix in, Miller away, and another corner kick. This will be the first one from this near corner flag as Kasipli sprints over to take it.
And I hope I didn't speak too soon. Everybody picking up a man.
Sustained pressure from Reno over the last 3 to 4 minutes. This ball floated in, and Jake Leaker didn't look super confident there. Rivas shoots well wide the whole way, but Jake Leaker didn't know whether to collect or to punch. He punched at the last minute, maybe got away with it.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with just the conditions here. Slippery, wet, the ball hard to get a hold, so I think he opts for just a punch away and doesn't get it quite right. He's trying to get some distance on this, and that's the factor of the weather. Normally you just see him collect that with both hands.
Headed on by Hurtado. Now a heavy first touch, and Carroll's able to clear it away. That was nearly an opportunity for Portland to double their lead. A minute left before halftime.
And Fletch, it's been an interesting game. Been quiet, and then a flurry of chances kind of popping up for 1868 and T2 as well. 1 or 2 falling their way. Haven't had as much possession here to close the first half as Cam Knowles would have wanted.
There's Lacroix, who's been much more involved in the attack over the last 10 minutes. This time dispossessed by Ornstill, who clears out towards midfield. Galindo Cruz wins the header. Seymour forward, deflected by Rivas. Ornstill plays back to Leaker, who clears. We've hit the 2 minutes. We'll wait for the whistle of Dejan Susek. He looks at his watch. Maybe one last attack forward here. This ball finds Raul Mendiola, who will shoot. Leaker spills it momentarily, but able to jump back on it. And that might be the last action of the first half, and indeed it is. So a flurry of action from Reno 1868 at the end of the first half, but Portland stays strong to maintain their goal lead going to the break.
Gives up one last look here. Mendiola shaking his head because I don't think he catches this the way he wants. You either shoot far post or Cowell's on running. You try to lay that across the 6. Ultimately, Leaker can snuff out the danger, but if you're T2, you don't want to close a half quite like that. You get in the locker room, you collect yourself, get organized, and close out the second 45 minutes.
Portland being outshot by Reno 1868, 9-5 in the first half, but have the goal lead. We'll jump out to the break, come back, look at some of our USL storylines, first half highlights, and more coming up here from Providence Park.
offensive juggernaut for both of these squads. Here we go again. Steinberger on the turn. It's going to fall through. Allen! Just like that, it's 3-3. Alex Bassetti making a darting run. It finds its way all the way to Bassetti. Lays it off. Still an opportunity. Brown! Taylor again. The menacing attack. Taylor lets it go. And there's the opener for North Carolina FC.
Frankie comes inside on Watson. Acres of space here for the left wing back. Forbes now pinching in space to shoot. He drives it and beats far.
Toes first Van Okel. Will this seal a spot? The fourth round. Number 4 delivers. 90th minute. Louisville leads at home again.
Into the 6-yard area, and it's Cicerone who wins in the air and restores St. Louis FC's 2-goal advantage.
So here comes Wynn. Is this offside? It is. A chance for Nashville to equalize, and they do! Carlton Belmar. Charleston into this round with 2 goals. And now, he sends them into the 4th round. Charleston with the upset.
Gonna tie his shoe while action goes on around him. Oh, good chance here for Reno.
Up against the top scorer. Frater puts it in. New Mexico United in front. That's kept in play. Skundred's the initial effort. Another cross. Headed in! Winner!
Halftime here at Providence Park. Brian Hurtado's first half goal has Portland on top at the break, 1-0 over their visitors from Nevada, Reno, 1868 FC. And welcome into the broadcast booth once again. Fletcher Johnson, Joe Slevin here with you. And Joe, let's first get to some USL news and storylines. We'll start off with the fact that T2, just one loss in their last 11 matches, have been playing some electric soccer as of late.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Knowles and his crew have picked up with the success that they had last season. They've been difficult to break down, and they've done their work on the road. When you make yourself difficult to beat and you give yourself chances, you're going to find yourself at the top of the table.
Meanwhile, three big contributors for this Portland Timbers 2 side this season, Renzo Zambrano, Eric Williamson, and Marvin Loria, have all made their MLS Timbers debut in the last week.
Yeah, and big moments for them, opportunities to go out there, get some MLS minutes. Here, that also opens opportunities, and we've seen Hurtado take full advantage, gets on the score sheet. What a fantastic finish.
And finally, big news in USL Championship this week is that San Diego, the market of San Diego, has been awarded a franchise. Landon Donovan will be the executive vice president of soccer operations for that club. So some big names involved in USL with the addition of the former U.S. men's national teamer. All right, Joe, as we look at the first 45 minutes, Portland gets the goal, has the lead, but Reno 1868 has been up to the task, just don't quite have that finishing quality.
Yeah, the start to the game is how you would have thought it would have gone in terms of 1868 pushing forward, T2 withstanding that pressure, and then they break. They had a lot of opportunities they created, and I thought they did well to control the game through the first 40 minutes. Towards the end there, they had a couple chances that fell to 1868, but got to halftime with the 1-0 lead.
Let's go ahead and take a look at those first half highlights. We start things off in the 11th minute. It was Brian Hurtado who nearly found the back of the net.
Yeah, and the passage of play that leads up to this is really great. Team play. Watch this ball coming in. Nobody gives up on it, and Hurtado, full of confidence at the moment, goes for this long ball. Keeper Marskinkowski has to push that over the crossbar for a corner kick.
He seemed up to the task early on, and just a few minutes later got the goal.
Anguiano brings it down. The weight of the pass is perfect. And right here, just look at Hurtado. Starts his run early, and from there it's an easy finish. Uses his frame. Lacroix can't get on it. Slots it to the left. 1-0 T2.
Three teenagers involved in that goal, then a collision in front of the T2 net.
Yeah, and we said that the midfield was clogged. And just a hopeful ball here from Richards. It's really looped up. Leaker comes a little bit late. Him and Dispay collide, but a good job by Leaker to recognize the danger, hop back onto it. Doesn't make it hurt any less.
The young striker for T2 had an opportunity to double the lead a few minutes later.
Again, another win in the midfield, and just a quick transition. I love the patience here. Waits for Smith to make his run, and then just cut back here. Composure, slots it, but a great save by the goalkeeper.
Arguably the best opportunity for the visitors came in the 37th minute from Seth Kasipli.
Yeah, a little bit of a nervous save there from Leaker. This one extremely confident, confidence builder. I think he's baiting him into this around the wall curler and pushes it wide. Fantastic save from Leaker there to finish the half.
As we look at the stats, T2 obviously has the lead on the scoreboard, but in many of the other categories, Reno is doing very well. Much more possession, more passes, more corner kicks, more shots. So it just shows that, like Ian Russell told us yesterday, the inability to convert those opportunities has killed his team here early in the year.
Yeah, a stark contrast from a statistical standpoint, but both coaches probably saw this game playing out this way. More possession, more shots for Reno. T2 hard to break down and putting away their chances.
We're just about set for the start of the second half. One substitution being made for Reno. Danny Masovsky, the 23-year-old forward from Henderson, Nevada, coming on in place of the 15-year-old Cade Cowell, who goes 45 minutes and comes off at the break. Masovsky, one goal so far this year, making his 9th appearance, but has been a lightning rod for this team since joining the club on loan last season. So Masovsky could play an important role here in the second half, and his coach Ian Russell certainly hopes that that is the case. An early foul called on Gio Calixtro.
Yeah, Fletch, we didn't really say Cowell's name too much there. He seemed to be second to a lot of balls and didn't find himself involved in the play too much. You know, looking at the dynamic here, you look at somebody who wants to get on the field, change things up, and Ian Russell will be frustrated that the lack of the finishing touch, or, you know, the movement when they got into the final third wasn't necessarily there. And because of that, there wasn't anybody to cross to. There wasn't anybody to combine with. It kind of got flat across the middle. There were no line-breaking runs that were coming from that Reno midfield, and the forwards made their life a little bit more difficult. So a like-for-like sub, because they're going to keep that diamond in the midfield too up top, but a different dynamic in terms of the approach to the game.
Portland 3-0-0 when leading at the half this season. Will try and make it 4 wins in 4 tries when holding a lead at the break. Maybe even makes it all that more impressive that Portland is where they are in the standings, given that they've only led at halftime 3 times, yet they have 7 wins and 6 draws to just 2 losses.
And Calixto getting a little bit of a talking to. Might find himself in the book with another foul. A couple of Timbers twos just standing around, hands on their hips, because that was a good entry ball there from Warnstill.
Ball over the top, finds Lacroix down near the corner flag. Defended by Hurtado. Lacroix very involved in the attack as the half wore on. The left back causing some problems down the T2's right side, getting forward.
Yeah, we said it in the beginning of the game. Their outside backs, both Richards and Lacroix, get forward. They get involved in the attack. They try to overload the wings. As that game came to a close, it was less pass first. Lacroix was taking his touches inside down the line. Good job by him to put pressure on T2.
When we talk about the success that Portland has had when leading at the break, how about this stat? When the opponent scores first against Reno, they are 3-3-2 on the season. They've won 3 matches in which the opponent has scored first. So another team that is never really out of it, as Wharton finds Smith down this near side. Smith looks over his options, plays it central on the ground. Nobody there but Rivas, who clears away only as far as Anguiano.
Yeah, you're right, though. You can't take your eyes off it. 45 minutes left here.
Here's Ojeda, top of the box. Couple touches with the left foot. Tries to curl it on that near post, but doesn't wrap that left foot around it.
A clever entry ball. Ojeda, you're right. Can't get the purchase on that curl. Doesn't treble the keeper in the end.
So very interesting strategy for T2 on the weekend at Orange County. They only made 3 changes from that lineup on Saturday on short rest. They knew that they were going to be without the likes of Eric Williamson, Renzo Zambrano, Marvin Luria, Mo Jadama, and others. So this back line is the same back line they played in Orange County as Seymour fouls Calixto. We're going to see a card issued to Seymour as Wharton gets in his face. Seymour's been in on some strong challenges early, and the 2 teams getting into it near field. Zach Carroll not happy, nor is Will Seymour. And Dayon Susak will have to iron this out after the players calm themselves down.
Yeah, Roy Miller trying to calm down proceedings, but Wharton does not like how Seymour just came through the back there. I think Calixto sees the challenge coming, doesn't make it hurt any less, but has a peek over his left shoulder. He knows he's about to earn his team a free kick. It's a strong challenge through the back of the T2 forward. And just watch right here, Fletch. Sliding pass, quick peek. I know it's coming. Right into the back of that leg. Seymour knows what he's doing. He has no interest in letting that play go on. And the midfielder stepping up, trying to protect his young forward.
2 caution cards issued there, both to Reno. Zach Carroll and Will Seymour go in the book. And an opportunity, Joe, for us to discuss as well. Your young striker gets taken down in physical fashion, and who's the first man there to defend his teammate? The captain, Todd Wharton, and Roy Miller, the 2 veterans getting in the middle of it. Just shows the togetherness of this team and the way they fight for one another. Calixto, of course, just 18 years old, but the veteran in Wharton, 25, standing up for his teammate.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the leadership. I love the recognition that it's a moment to show I got your back. This is what it means to be on a team, and you're right. It's a crunching tackle, and the 2 elder statesmen come in and let Seymour know they're not going to stand for that. Now you got two of your key players in the back, your center back and your holding mid in the book, something to keep your eye on for Reno, especially in Russell. Is this something you balance in as you look towards your substitutions? And if you're T2, you're thankful Calixto didn't really pick up a major knock. Another element to the game that they're going to have to balance here through the second half.
Ojeda run over by Rivas. Foul called on the Reno midfielder. As you look at Christian Ojeda, on loan from Club Athletic Talleres in Argentina. Made his T2 debut back on March 30th. Pair of assists, still looking for his debut goal for T2, but certainly has brought some excitement when he's been given the opportunity.
And going back to your earlier comment, Fletch, in terms of Wharton, in terms of Miller, I also look at Reno, and I would have imagined that that was a challenge from Seymour, that he was looking to set the tone to some degree, try to wake his team up.
As Smith plays it down the line for Ojeda, defended by Richards. Ojeda does not earn the throw. Richards quickly takes into Masovsky, his first real action of the night. Back pass from Mendiola misses him. And Ojeda loses it out to touch. Chested down from Herzog to Masovsky. Into space for Seymour. Now wide behind Lacroix, who will come back to pick it up. 53rd minute. Brian Hurtado's 14th minute goal still standing. Worked there by Calixto to dispossess Seymour, and here comes Hurtado. Nice creative ball to find Ojeda, and then a deflection nearly puts it on frame. In the end, it ends up as just a goal kick.
And I don't know how much Ojeda knows about this, because I think he's just going into a challenge. I love this play here. And look at Seymour. He's already on a yellow. He can't put the foul there to stop the play. A clever slip ball through. The challenge comes. Ojeda just trying to win the ball and almost beats Marcinkowski just by floating over his head. Another good break from T2, though, Fletch.
And Hurtado playing his best soccer of the season, and Leaker lucky that that ball rolled across the end line as he tried to keep it in play. Heavy touch, and Masovsky made him pay for it. But Andrew Marahart here on the near side said that ball rolled across the end line.
Nervy moment there for Leaker.
Ian Russell not happy with that call. I would imagine that had that not gone on in the back of the net, he'd be happy with this corner kick there. 7th of the night. Kasipli to strike. Float towards a penalty spot. Nearly steered on frame by Galindo Cruz, the center back, off the volley.
And when the keeper, you just want to be confident that you can play to him back there. There's a freeze frame. Ball is absolutely over the line. And in this case, that's the best thing in the world if you're Jake Leaker. He just wants to take a little bit of the time off the clock, help his team collect their breath, but takes his eye off the ball. Almost a calamity.
It was certainly close, no doubt about that. And Jake Leaker breathing a sigh of relief as he just went to sleep for a moment with the ball at his feet, and it nearly cost his team the lead.
We talk about confidence building moments. Maybe the opposite there. I would not be surprised to see the remainder of those back passes just go for long balls. Cam Knowles will have no problem with that. You saw Aiden Brown come over and have a word with Leaker at the end of the half. And probably for moments like that, when and when not to take your chances as a goalkeeper. Your old broadcast partner, Aiden Brown.
That's right. Worked with Aiden on the radio broadcast for the MLS Timbers, and now the goalkeeper coach for T2. And they have a lot of faith in Jake Leaker. Think he has the opportunity to be a pretty special goalkeeper within this organization. He's had some good moments tonight, had some rough moments tonight. Here's Kasipli quickly to take the corner kick, the 8th of the night. Over the head of Wharton, falls to Richards. Richards, I think, tries to chip Leaker and put it into that top corner. That was going to be tough the whole way.
Yeah. I think he Wishes he'd gone for a cross there.
And we'll see the second substitution of the night for Reno. 23-year-old Sam Gleadle from Chichester, England will come on and replace the man who picked up a yellow card a few minutes ago, Will Seymour. So Ian Russell's hands forced there a little bit, Joe, and like you said, forced to take off Seymour given the amount of pressure that T2 can put in the central part of that defense in midfield for Reno.
Yeah, early curtain call for Seymour. Can't go risking going down a man and put himself in trouble. And to be honest, I don't know if he really had to even put that challenge in. Calixtro's in front of you. He can manage the game. He's in his own half. And I think Seymour, whether he'll admit it or not, knew he was going into the book or wanted to or send a message.
So it looks like with that change, Seth Kasipli has come back into that lone defensive midfielder role, sitting in front of that front four. And Gleadle, the substitute, has gone out on the left where Kasipli was playing. So we'll have to see how this plays out as they find Rivas down here on the near side, headed away by Wharton, only as far as Kasipli, 30 yards from goal. Pass in between Lacroix and Gleadle, and Orange still plays it off of Lacroix for a throw.
And just looking down here at Ian Russell, he's shaking his head. Just little moments like that. Careless in possession. It's a ball not really to anybody. And Orange still is able to pick it off. Just frustration for the Reno 1868 coach right now. But like we said, 1-0, just takes one moment. They are getting the ball forward a little bit more this half.
Portland would certainly like to find that second goal. Had an opportunity in the 53rd minute, but then a minute later, nearly the goal for the visitors. Ojeda gets the ball to Sierakowski. Calixtro's onside, held on by Galindo Cruz. Here's Calixtro, one step over inside the box. Plays central for Sierakowski. Prep touch, leaves it behind, goes down. Gleadle carries the other way.
Good moment there again. Another turnover. Well done by Calixtro to recognize the situation, holds it up, finds Sierkowski, he gets the ball caught up beneath him, and can't work it onto his left or right foot in that situation. It was just one or two quick touches, but
Carroll does well to keep that away from Calixtro. And Reno a chance to catch their breath.
And I like how this T2 team is just, everybody's on the same page. Low line of confrontation.
Looking for Mendiola over the top. Roy Miller up to the task, cleared away. Only as far as Rivas in the center circle. Make that Kasipli.
And just looking again, look across that midfield. Shifting together, moving together.
At times almost looking like a 4-4-2 from Portland as Miller clears that away. Kasipli will send it back in, finds the head of his man, and Reno has levelized. Danny Masovsky loves his soccer against T2, and he has another one.
Just as we're praising the organization on the defensive end of things, no real pressure on the cross. It's a quality delivery right there. Leaker can't come out and collect it. Plenty of pace and power on this. Right here. Able to work it onto his right foot. Looping header over. Lusovsky looks to be an inspired change at halftime if you're Ian Russell as he gets the equalizer.
Masovsky is compared to Chris Wondolowski coming out of college, was the National Gatorade Player of the Year as a high school junior, scored 58 goals in one season, went to UNLV 2017, had 15 goals and 6 assists in 16 appearances, and really played a big role for this Reno side last year. Hasn't had quite the impact this season, but makes his presence felt here as a second half substitute tonight. How does Portland respond?
Yeah, I was just about to say that's not a bad comp. MLS's all-time leading goal scorer.
Richards, first time ball in, nearly finds Masovsky again. And then a foul called on Smith as he cleared that ball away. So a dangerous opportunity here for Reno once again, moments after they scored their first.
Mendiola doing a good job. He sneaks on the shoulder. A little bit of a pinball here. Brent Richards, you can see what he's trying. But right here, Mendiola following up the play. Earns his team a corner kick. Now this is a little bit more favorable distance if you want to try to curl it over that wall. Kasipel will once again take duties over this free kick.
It's interesting, Leaker set up his line, and then the players had to move back about 4 or 5 yards. That changes the angle. They did not move any further towards Leaker's left. So you wonder if Kasipli has an opportunity to bend this outside the wall. And that's what he'll go for again. And Kasipli has a goal and an assist. And Reno has turned this thing on its head in 2 minutes.
An insult to injury. I think Jake Leaker's down here because as he scrambles across to keep this ball out of the net, he catches that that left post of his. Again, we said it's a favorable distance. A little more yardage and real estate to get it up and over. And never really has to dip it. He just puts it to the left side of that wall. It has Leaker scrambling. It's in curling. Just enough pace, power, and placement to keep it out of the way of Jake Leaker as he goes and gets checked. And Kasipli, zero doubt in his mind about what he wanted to do there. I think he saw the wall. He really fancied his chances in terms of how it was set up. It's a smaller one as well. And you're right, turn this game on its head. 2-1 for Reno 1868. They've made the adjustments right now. Ian Russell has to be happy with the response from his team. And if you're Cam Knowles, you look at a young team here as you sub on youth for youth. And you ask him, how do you respond? How do you work your way back into this game and find an equalizer?
So Zach Kobayashi, the lone player on T2's bench that is not an academy player tonight, will come in and play out on the left, moving Ryan Sierakowski up top. I tell you what, again, Jake Leaker set his wall, and the 4 players had to take 5 to 6 steps backwards after he told them where he wanted them. And you just wonder if that opened up enough of an angle for Kasipli to wind it around the near side of that wall like he did and have enough space to put it in the goal. Here comes Kobayashi in his first action. Out wide for Hurtado. Hurtado's been good tonight, tries to work his way around Lacroix, forced to play back to Ornstill. Hurtado this time does get around Lacroix, but his floated cross goes over the top of everyone in the box for Portland. Falls to Anguiano. Now ball in for Smith. Great look. Black for Ojeda, who puts it wide.
Fantastic movement there from T2. It's the weight of the pass from Carlos Anguiano. Playing in Smith down on this left side. Just look at the weight of this ball. Makes up the mind of the left back for him. And it's a late run he's looking for, just looking to place it. He had the opportunity to play it across the 6-yard box, and if you're going to play that one, it's not a bad look, but you got to be sure to try to look for that near post. It's a difficult one to pull off as it's coming across. Fantastic ball from Anguiano, fantastic ball from Smith and Ojeda. It's the right thought, but center stage and fluffs his lines on that one.
This 15-minute stretch from minute 61 to 75 has been T2's most prolific goal-scoring 15-minute stretch at home. 5 of their 13 goals have come in minutes 61 through 75, and boy, would they like to get one here after giving up their halftime lead in a span of 3 minutes on a pair of goals, one from Danny Musovski, the other from Seth Kasipley from a free kick.
And Reno 1868 started the second half on the front foot. They find the equalizer. Shortly thereafter, they take the lead. T2 has yet to really get a foothold in the second 45 minutes. Who's going to put their foot on the ball, calm down proceedings?
And we see a yellow card issued to Danny Musovski. Felt that ball went off of Dizpay and should have been a corner kick for Reno. He'll get a yellow card for his troubles. Hurtado earns the throw. So Sierakowski now playing up top for Portland. Kobayashi out on the left, Hurtado on the right. Ojeda tries to switch it over to the far side. This ball will end up at the feet of Kobayashi. Play it back for Ojeda. Ojeda out wide to Smith into space, defended by Richards. Anguiano first time cross, dummied on by Sierakowski. Hurtado doesn't get a good first touch on it. Here comes Musovski. Looked like he might have got kicked in the head by Miller. Allowed to play on. Musovski shoulder to shoulder with Dizpay. Dizpay does well to win it. No, a foul called. Certainly looked shoulder to shoulder there, but Dejan Susak had other thoughts. And Reno 1868, another chance for a free kick just outside the box.
Yeah, Musovski gets wrong side of Dizpay, but the center back does well. For me, that's shoulder to shoulder, just getting locked up. And he's done that already a couple times today on full display. A physical center back, nothing in it for me, but that doesn't change the fact that they got to get this organized as well. Another angle that could trouble Leaker.
Shot comes, headed away. That might have been on frame. Important header from Dizpay as it rolls out to touch for a Reno throw. Boy, it looked like that was on frame. We'll have to take another look.
Yeah, he's just driving it across. There's so many people in there. It takes any deflection. It'll end up in the back of the net. What a good job by Dizpay to stand up on that line.
As Orn still sheets Rivas away from that one. Reno 1868 has come to life in the second half, causing problems for Portland. Cameron Knowles has really made his one substitution that he knows what would come of it with only academy players left on the bench.
Not too much experience you can bring on. For me, Warden has got to get on the ball a little bit more and start dictating the play.
Dizpay beats Gleedle in a foot race to that one. Important as Musovski was lurking. Deflection earns T2 a throw. Was taken quickly by Herzog, who's now wondering how that took a deflection off of him, but Ryan Jung on that far side, the official, the linesman over there says it went out off of Reno and should be a T2 throw. Leaker over the head of Smith and out to touch.
And you can see Herzog and Musovski both have kind of a license to just pressure Leaker. Looks a little bit uncomfortable on the ball at the moment.
Ball forward from Smith. Sierakowski trying to run it down. Carroll there first. Clears the other direction, and Musovski onside. He'll control this in front of Miller. Mendiola, Herzog. Long switch to Lacroix, cut out by Ornstill. Numbers for Portland if they play quickly. Into space for Hurtado. Lacroix tracking back quickly, and Reno does well to get numbers back. Hurtado dribbles at Lacroix. Now we'll send a floated cross in. Misheaded up in the air by Richards, but Kobayashi was slow to come over. Could have been an opportunity for Portland. Eventually cleared out only as far as Anguiano.
Really well done by Anguiano to settle the ball, uses what frame he does have to hold off Rivas there. And you can see Reno 1868, now they're trying to calm the game down. Wharton right on cue, putting pressure on the back line, recognizing what this game needs right now. They can't sit back and invite pressure from Reno 1868. Got to go find the game if you're T2. Quick restarts. That's how they're going to work their way back in here. Roy Miller also wanted to get proceedings going again. In 1868. Now they're pushing the ball up. Or sorry, now they're pushing their lineup, trying to win it up front.
Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. As this ball comes in, knocked away momentarily by Richards. Mendiola still up in the air at the top of the 18. Sierakowski gets ahead to it and cleared away by Reno. Click the follow button on Portland Timbers 2 on ESPN.com to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on Portland Timbers 2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Portland hasn't been able to generate much here in the second half. Since the break, just 2 shots.
Yeah, they've been faster in possession. Passes have been crisper. And they haven't tried to thread anything through the middle. They've been exploiting space where they've needed to. And for me, right here, this is a good moment. Look at the activity on the Reno 1868 midfield. That knockdown, they're winning all these. They're closing space, not letting any T2 players get time on the ball or an opportunity to find that 1 or 2 passes. Just pinning him back. A little bit of trench warfare here from 1868. Been impressed with Lacroix so far. He's not slowed down this entire second half.
And you have to wonder about the legs of Portland as well. Only 3 changes from the team that played Saturday night in Orange County. Got a 2-0 win. Short rest. Have to try and push through and find an equalizer in the last 16.5 minutes. Certainly a fair amount of the possession to Reno in the first half. That's continued here in the second half. As Anguiano settles.
I think they'll have opportunities. It's just a matter of putting them away.
Oh, chipped over the top looking for Anguiano. Carroll shields him away. Marcinkowski throws out for Lacroix in space. 5v4 for Reno if they hurry. This ball forward for Gleedle, who will track it down before it runs across the end line. Back for Lacroix. Hurtado back to defend. Lacroix, central, Musovski, and an incredible save by Jake Leaker. That was a pierced ball in that Musovski got his right boot to, but it was straight at Leaker.
Yeah, the ball from Lacroix is great. Musovski, really all he has to do is steer it on frame any other place than at Leaker. It just happens to end right in the goalkeeper's breadbasket.
Here's Gleedle, prep touch, shoots. Let's take a look back at the save from Jake Leaker.
Yeah, it's a great ball. Musovski just pulls off the back shoulder, Roy Miller, and gets plenty of purchase on it. Just steers it right at Leaker, who's able to fall down on it. You can see Musovski's just constantly sniffing. His movement is fantastic, pulling off the back shoulder, that center back, finding just that yard of room that he needs to get a shot onto target. Credit to Leaker for staying on his line and tracking that ball the entire way across.
All right, we are going to see the third and final substitute of the night as it's Corey Herzog coming on, Lindo Mfeka coming in. And let's go ahead and take a look back at how we got here this evening. Start off in the 14th minute, Brian Hurtado, his second goal in as many games, Joe.
Yeah, fantastic build-up here. This ball from Anguiano, very mature for the 18-year-old. Slots at home, easy finish. 1-0 T2, but to start the second half, 15 minutes in, you look here, the clearance, not everybody's pushing up and out. Easy cross comes in, and Musovski backpedaling, but able to loop it over.
And then a free kick opportunity for Seth Kasipli in the 62nd.
Yeah, and just what you missed before this was the wall was standing well in front of that line, and when they moved it back, they didn't make any adjustments. It creates a better angle, and Kasipli probably couldn't believe his luck that the goalkeeper Leaker didn't adjust that wall in any way, shape, or form, because it gave him that little window he needed to put it up and over and put his team up 2-1.
That's how we got here, 77th minute. And Portland feeling confident at the break with the way they had played. They got the goal, had some good opportunities, but really at about the 40th minute, Joe, it seemed like this match changed and Reno 1868 started to grab a hold of the game. Almost got a goal a couple different occasions as Anguiano shoots. Not enough on it though, and easy stuff for Marcinkowski. And Reno 1868 maybe felt like they should have tied it before the break, but they continued that momentum into the second half.
Yeah, and I think that Ian Russell would have gone in and said, guys, you know, there's cracks in the armor. You're getting the opportunities. Take that extra second. It's the quality of that final pass. It's not enough to just put it in there. You got to have a name on it, have intention.
Here's Mendiola down the near side. Too far in front of Gleedle. And Musovski, with the way the ball ran, it was behind Gleedle and in front of Musovski. Rolls all the way through. Picked up by Lacroix. Mfeka, his first touch. And then a turnover from Kasipli. Sierakowski, now Anguiano. 5v4, 5v5 if Portland hurry. Lays it off for Sierakowski, out wide to Hurtado. Hot pass. Hurtado does not enough to control it. Then a foul called on Rivas. Maybe fair play there, as there was one or two on the other side that maybe should have been fouls on T2. Hurtado earns that one.
Yeah, Rivas can't believe his luck. It's fired in, and Rivas gets the ball there. For, you know, he's judged for the infraction. Might be a gimme call to your point, Fletch, but Sierakowski, a lot of heat on that pass. And now a similar angle, a little bit further out than Kasipli's was. This will probably be delivered right across the 6. You got to hate on it. He's got a left foot. If he curls it for that back post, it's a lot of cross runs going across the 6-yard box. Any touch will put it in the back, and if nobody touches it, you want to just to sneak into that far post.
Yeah, you would think this isn't Wharton's specialty spot. Right side of goal, right, favored right foot. You'd have to think this is Ojeda to strike. It will indeed be Ojeda who shoots straight at Marcinkowski, who is right there.
Yeah, gets it on frame. I'm thinking to myself, if Marvin Loria is here, zero doubt in my mind who's stepping over that free kick. A cultured left foot, opportunity for Ojeda to show what he has. Puts it on target. In the end, it's a comfortable save there. I think Marcinkowski saw it the whole way.
Marvin Lurie, obviously such a big part of this team the last couple seasons, scored in his debut against Houston with the MLS Timbers on Saturday in impressive fashion. A scissor kick, half volley.
Musovski, smart play there. Gets his body in front. Now earns his team a set piece.
A strong performance from Reno 1868. From the 40th minute on, has them in front.
Yeah, we mentioned it though. They have struggled to close out some games, so I would not be surprised to see a couple more opportunities fall the way of the T2 tonight. You talk about Musovski versus Portland Timbers too. I remember back in my days covering the games for the University of Portland, he gave them fits up top as well.
Seems to enjoy his soccer in the Pacific Northwest, does Danny Musovski.
is it a sneaky build to him. How he uses his body, it's so smart, and you've seen the movement, pulling off the back shoulders, finding that little yard of space, and then being clinical. Could easily have 2 tonight.
There's Kobayashi dribbling through a couple men, and Anguiano and Kasipli go chest to chest. The official gets involved to help Portland keep possession, then Richards whiffs, and Ojeda knocks it out off of Richards to touch. 81st minute, 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining.
T2 needs a spark right now.
Hurtado ends up with it after Mendiola's clearance takes a deflection. Then Hurtado's cross deflects off of Richards behind Sierakowski. Portland keeps possession. Richards, heavy touch as he tried to clear it away. No, they say that one went out off of Hurtado for a goal kick.
And if he didn't, he sold it well, but I think it is a deflection. And Reno 1868 still going to try to play out of the back here. No option to go along with it.
We'll see the second substitute of the night coming for Portland here shortly. Have to imagine, given the scoreline, we'll be seeing Nicholas Scardina, the 17-year-old forward, with Portland in search of an equalizing goal. Ball forward from Dispe, finds Sierakowski, does well to play out wide to Kobayashi, who switched over to the right side. Hurtado now over on the left. Anguiano plays Hurtado. Hurtado is making a run forward, wasn't expecting that ball to come from Anguiano. And now big run forward from Gleadle. Perfect ball from Mfeka, finds him. Warren still does enough to keep it in play. And now here's Kobayashi tracking back to pick it up.
In the end, it's well done, but that's a fantastic look from Fike. He puts that through ball in. Gleadle
big
almost
ball
gets
forward from
it.
Ojeda. Can Hurtado chase it down before it rolls into touch? He does. Hurtado waits for reinforcements to come forward. This one will go all the way. Find Ojeda, top of the box. And again, third great look in the second half for Ojeda from 20 yards or closer, and he can't put it on frame and force a save.
Hurtado doing what he does, chasing balls down. Great layoff, and Ojeda, you can see, trying to strike through the ball and catch it on the half volley right when it comes off of the turf. When it comes off, it looks great, but in this case, he slices it wide. Ultimately doesn't trouble the net, but you can see exactly what he wants to do there, and if he gets it, it's going to that far post with a lot of backspin and a lot of T2 players celebrating. Fantastic layoff.
And that's tough to pick up off the half volley. But you know, Christian Ojeda will be having nightmares with the opportunities he's had in the second half. Here comes Musovski, 3-on-2 for the visitors if they hurry. Here's Musovski, shoots with his left foot. Doesn't get anything on it, and Leaker collects.
Last touch got away from him, hand up. Gleadle wanted that one.
The 85th minute, 5.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Ball over the top for Sierakowski. In front of Galindo Cruz. Cross comes in. Richards is there, back post. Hurtado puts it back across. Marcinkowski with a bit of a kick save that pops up into the air. And then Carroll clears. Smith, floated ball. Sierakowski header. Bounces one time to Marcinkowski.
I love this ball from Dispe. He spots the run of Sierakowski. And as he puts it across net, Richards doesn't know what's going on behind him. It's a late run from Hurtado. He's just lashing it right across the front. Marcinkowski puts a foot out, kick save and a beaut from him. That's Route 1 stuff, though, from T2.
Portland's had some opportunities, some half chances, if you will. One really good look from the top of the box from Ojeda. And a free kick opportunity for Christian Ojeda in the 79th minute.
Despay gonna have a go here. Continuing his run.
He'll hit the cross, goes down. Obviously your center back not used to being in that position. And now here comes Gleedle. Lay it off for Mendiola. It's one of these interesting matchups, if you will. Reno's just had the better of Portland, no matter the night or day. Players on the field, 6 previous meetings, 6 results. As Rivas is called for a foul, Ornstill sliding through to knock that ball away. Rivas will receive the card. So 4 cards tonight, all given to Reno 1868 players. This is a club in Reno that doesn't concede fouls very often. 3rd least fouls conceded in USL with 4 cards tonight. As we see the substitution, this is not a like for like. The right back, Max Ornstill, comes off for the forward academy player, 17-year-old Nicholas Scardina.
And it still looks like he's going to go to the right side, maybe just to give a look. Otherwise, he'll just head towards that 18-yard box.
Just floated ball in from Wharton towards the back post, looking for Miller, and earns a corner kick. 3rd of the night for T2. They got those first 2 very early on, have not had one since. Did not take advantage of them in the first half. We'll see what Ojeda does with this one. 88th minute. Big bodies forward for Portland. Floated in, headed on by Miller, up in the air. And a miscommunication between Scardina and Wharton. Portland recollects and will recycle. Wharton's pass forward, looking for the overlapping Scardina. Can't pick him out. And Reno has a chance to clear. Masovsky controls off his chest. 2 minutes left. Fletcher Johnson and Joe Slevin with you here at Providence Park. 55-minute weather delay. That delayed kickoff. And an entertaining match we've seen so far. Are there late dramatics for T2, similar to their last home match when they scored in second half stoppage time to earn a result? Gleedle gets around Miller, out into space for Mendiola, settles to Mfeka, and now to Rivas. Reno 1868 looking to kill this game off. Mendiola's offside.
Mfeka's come in and he's put a calm touch into the midfield for Reno 1868. Slowed the play down when he needs to. He had a through ball into Gleedle that almost led to a goal. Another good substitution. You look at Musovsky, Mfeka, both influencing the game in extremely positive ways. And the youth movement for T2 has struggled to find a foothold here in the second half. Coming out of the break, it was Reno 1868 asking a lot of questions. The yellow card to Seymour seemed to signal the change for the game, and from there, Reno 1868 seemed to come alive and pushing forward, completing passes, making life difficult.
Tune in to ESPN3 on July 3rd at 8 p.m. for Wednesday Night Soccer. Watch as 2 of the premier clubs out west duel for playoff positioning with Sacramento Republic FC welcomes Fresno FC in the Highway 99 Derby. Catch all the action July 3rd at 8 p.m. on ESPN3. Masovsky from distance will shoot. Leaker saves. We have reached stoppage time here at the end of the second half, awaiting the amount of minutes we will play. We'll play 4 here at the end of the second half. Hurtado dribbling forward, has Sierakowski out to his right. We'll use him. Little too far, too heavy touch. Now Sierakowski against Lacroix. Cross comes in, floated, and it went out of play.
Lacroix just standing up Sierakowski. He's trying to get a little space to put in that cross. Chips in. It's never really going to trouble Reno 1868 too much. Brent Richards has done a good job on that back post, protecting any balls that are floated over the top. You're right, just a little bit too wide. Opportunity seemed to have gone at that point.
Sierkowski needs to go chase down Marcinkowski, force him to pick this one up. So we're through 1 minute of the added 4. Some big saves from JT Marcinkowski in the first half kept Portland only up by a goal. Never know how big those moments can be, and they certainly came up as big moments with the way that Reno played in the attack in the second half. Kobayashi, heavy touch, and gives up the throw. Got to give credit to Reno 1868. If they're able to hold on to this 5th result in 7 road matches, and doing well in possession to kill this one off. All over the top for Gleadle. Scardina forced to defend and just plays it out to touch.
Scardina, you're right, out on that right side. Maybe unfamiliar territory for the youngster. Having to pull defensive duties now.
This, of course, the first meeting between these two teams. The second will take place down in Nevada, August 31st. As knocked out off of Scardina for another throw.
Reno 1868 content to just dribble out the clock right now.
It's a tough stretch for Portland coming up. After tonight, just 2 matches of their next 7 will be here in Providence Park. Here's Kobayashi, one touch from Ojeda out to Hurtado. Behind him, Smith there to pick it up though. Dribbling into the box, central for Hurtado. Prep touch, shoots, deflects, and a corner kick. Richards there to make an important deflection to steer it away from frame.
What a look here. They break. Smith knows where the offensive hot hand is. Hurtado deflected out for a corner kick.
Might have gone off of Carroll. Here comes the floated ball. Marcinkowski rises up, taken down. Smith will shoot. Saved by Marcinkowski. Might have been wide anyways. He's wondering why a foul wasn't called. And here comes Gleadle down the near side in a foot race with Anguiano. He'll get around Anguiano. Chance for Reno to put it on ice. Shoots. Saved by Leaker. 45 seconds left at the discretion of Dejan Susak. End-to-end stuff. Portland looking for an equalizer. Long ball over the top from Smith. Carroll heads up in the air. Richards has time to settle. He'll play it out to touch.
Fletch, time for you to catch your breath here. Frantic close to the game.
Sierkowski tries to steer it towards Kobayashi, top of the box. Cannot do so. Goes to Marcinkowski, who will happily collect and burn as much time as he can. That might have been the last chance for Portland.
And you can see where Reno 1868 has dropped points. That right there, hectic, a flurry of chances. Marcinkowski thinks he's fouled. Play goes on. Smith lashes onto it. And the keeper, credit to him, steps right back up, makes a big save down on the other side of things. The young 18-year-old.
Had to be a big ball forward in that moment, and not enough time. Portland, for the first time this season, loses when leading at the break. A pair of goals in 3 minutes, the difference for Ian Russell's side as they come on the road and get the victory over Portland Timbers too.
Credit to Reno 1868. They come in. First half, you'd give your tip of the hat to T2 through the first 40 minutes. Then there were signs of life. And they come out in the second half. Reno 1868, 2 goals, well-deserved. They put away their chances and ultimately come out of here with 3 points.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look back at the full match highlights. It was a bright start for Portland Timbers, too. In the 11th minute, Brian Hurtado picking up where he left off last match against Orange County.
Yeah, and indications here of how T2 wanted to start the game. Getting the ball to Hurtado. He is the danger man. He's full of confidence. Here, it's an audacious chip pushed over the crossbar.
3 minutes later, this time he put it in the back of the net.
Yep. Love this right here. Great setup touch. and he knows exactly where that ball came from. Points to Carlos Anguiano.
But as Reno did all night, they came back, nearly scored a minute later, and a bad collision between Jake Leaker and Adrian Dispay.
Yeah, and for me, this cross here from Brent Richards, everybody kind of goes to sleep. It should be Leaker's ball, no question. He comes out, catches the back of the head for Dispay, and almost falls for a chance for Reno 1868.
20th minute action continued. Gio Calixto should have doubled the lead.
Yep, Anguiano wins the ball in the midfield. Just a little bit of a wait for that run from Smith. And Calixto, set up touch, tries to slot it. Diving save to the right.
17 minutes later, Jake Leaker with a big save on Kasipli.
Yeah. But an indication Kasipli fully capable of putting that ball where he wants it, curling it around that wall. Leaker's up to the task in this case.
4th time this season, Timbers 2 have taken a lead to the break. They'd won the previous 3. It was not to be tonight.
Yeah. And just right here, this challenge seemed to change the tenor of the game. It's a crunching tackle from Seymour. Tempers flare a little bit. A couple of yellow cards to dispense. But from this point on, and you can argue Seymour changed the tenor of the game, wanted to wake his teammates up.
We moved to the 60th minute, and it was the goal from the substitute, Danny Musovski.
Yeah. Danger's not fully clear. Musovski backpedaling. Does his best to get anything on it. A looping header.
Then 2 minutes later, T2 give up a free kick, and Seth Kasipli makes him pay.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before, that wall wasn't adjusted after they were told to move back. And Kasipli has a big window to just curl that ball in.
You knew there were going to be chances late in this match. Portland Timbers 2 got a bunch of them, this one in the 84th.
Yeah, you know, Reno 1868, they'll tell you they've struggled to close games out this year. Just moments like this, right there, Ojeda wants that one back. He's trying to strike it to that left post. Ends up slicing it wide of the net.
A minute later, it was another opportunity for Portland.
Yeah. Fun close to the game for you and I, were it not for the result. This time, Sierkowski right across the front, can't do much, and then this ball right here gets cut out. I don't know if there's a T2 player waiting, but he had to make the save.
And then in stoppage time, off the corner kick.
Again, Marcinkowski thinks he's fouled here. Dispay's just going up for a header. Gets right back up and saves that shot from Smith. Down on the other side of things, Anguiano's beat for pace, but Leaker cuts down the angle, makes a save, and that was all that was said about this. 2-1 Reno 1868. There were chances there for T2 to get the equalizer, but ultimately they don't.
Portland Timbers 2 now out on the road, or well, will go out on the road to face Phoenix Rising this weekend. Next game back in this building again is against Tulsa Roughnecks at 7:30 on July 6th. Portland Timbers 2 falls to 7-3-6. Their club record unbeaten run of 6 matches comes to a close as well. Meanwhile, Reno 1868 now 7-5-4 on 26 points. Thanks to all of you for joining us, for our outstanding producer and his team, Tony Smith, as well as my broadcast partner, Joe Slevin. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Portland Timbers 2 fall at home tonight to Reno 1868, 2-1. Musovski with a goal, as well as Kasipli for the visitors. Brian Hurtado with his 2nd goal in as many matches. We'll talk to you July 6th for more Portland Timbers 2 soccer here from Portland, Oregon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.